Do 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 do. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the Let's Play of Pokemon. Pokemon. Better get some more, or just what you can in yellow version, and ones that you can get without trading. Yeah. Anyway, well, um, so we're totally not still at the same place because that would just be terrible. And yeah, today I came up with a decent topic to discuss. The differences in everyone's current favorite undead monsters. I thought that this would be a decent one to speak of as we get closer to the bewitching holiday that is Halloween. Do 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 do. All right. All right. And sorry, I was making a note to myself so that I was sure to touch on the types. Yes, there are everybody's favorite, well, pop culture's favorite, undead monsters, beings that crave what you have between your ears. And I'm not talking about wax. I'm talking about brains. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about zombies. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, zombies are, of course, the reanimated corpses of the dead, brought back to life by well, there's been several brought back to life by voodoo and voodoo, chemical outbreaks, failed government experiments, radiation from space, as well as like brain slug parasites and viruses and things like that. And just so we're clear, like up front, I'm not going to talk about the Resident Evil zombies because I think I got no idea what they were doing with that. I mean, it's nice that it's a virus, that makes it a little scary. The thought that anyone could end up, stuck in a room with these things and possibly end up turning into one of them, or at worst, transforming horribly into the hideous abominations. No, we're gonna start off with the classics. I'm gonna. Did anyone ever see White Zombie? No, I'm not talking about Rob Zombie's band from back in the, what was it, the 80s? Although he did name his band after the movie. So, there's that. The guy's a big horror movie buff. Uh, in that movie, let's see. Jeez, that's a really strong attack. In that movie, jeez. Anyway, keep interrupting myself. In that movie, Bela Lugosi is a madman who's controlling people's minds with his hypnotic gaze and turning them into creatures who have lost their will and bow to his every whim. And I'm not answering my phone right now because that would be unprofessional. So that's more your voodoo-ish zombies. Oh man, I have no money. I'm gonna have to win this the old-fashioned way. With true grit. So, there's those. You know, people who are... Actually, I don't know. Were they alive in that movie? Like in the traditional sense. But, yeah, there's those. That's probably the first, like, film debut of zombieism. And it's not reanimated corpses, it's people who have been deprived of their ability to think and act on their own. They all follow the orders of one deranged man with horrible eyebrows. And that's about as much exposure as people got for a long time. Until a little production was put together by a group of friends trying to make something on a shoestring budget. And I'm talking, of course, about George Romero's classic Night of the Living Dead. Now, it's never outright stated, and I think that that's one of the strengths of the movie, as to what caused the outbreak. And in the first movie, there's like this passing mention of, well, maybe it's radiation from space, or a strange comet that flew by, and stuff like that. That's in there. You could read it that way if you so chose. But I don't like to so chose that. I like to think that it's happening and people don't know. And in fact, what was it? Was it Dawn of the Dead? Yeah, it was Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead was the one in the mall. Dawn of the Dead, they had a wonderful line in there. The police, was he a SWAT team member? The one guy, oh, he's razor leaf. The one man said that his grandfather or his uncle was a voodoo priest. And he said, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. And that is a great movie line right there. You've got me sold. Then we get into the return of the Living Dead movies. These zombies are a little different. It's outright stated what happened. In fact, the movie Return of the Living Dead talks about being a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. They vaguely reference the things that happened in the movie. but it's all tongue in cheek. It's very, very loose. So, you know, it's the movie has the guys opening up the barrel in the storeroom of the medical supply depot, and lets out the gas and lets free one of the zombies, and the zombies are unkillable. You cannot kill them. They cannot be destroyed. They will always, you know, attack, devour. And I believe they might have been the first ones to come out and actually say brains. So, if you ever wondered, I'm pretty sure, like 80%, 80, you know what, 83%. I am 83% sure that that's the first one. Also, we just defeated the gym leader, so hooray. Yep, I'm the best around. Nothing's gonna ever bring me down. And then we get into stuff like 28 days later, where it's not really zombies. It's like a rage virus, which is, and that sort of changed it up because these were running zombies. You know, that's what a lot of people say. They say, are they like slow walking, shambling zombies, or are they running, sprinting, chase you down zombies? Yeah, I mean, that's a different kind of scary. I mean, that scary is more of the thrill of it. Whereas I think that the slow moving zombies lend them. I'll get into that later. Then you have The Walking Dead. The zombies that do decay over time. But, I mean, at this point, geez, what are they like? Season 6 or something? They're 5 years into this? Well, I have no idea how much time has passed in the actual show. Because I don't watch it. anymore. I'll say that. The first season was okay. The second season was awful. The third season, I don't remember anything that happened until Michonne showing up. I remember wanting everybody on that show to die a horrible, awful death. And so far, my wish has not been granted. And for that, I think that there's no excuse. There's none. Nothing they can do at this point can make up for how awfully written all of those characters are. But that's my opinion. And I'm just some butthole on the internet. So you don't have to listen to me. Just saying. And those were the 5 major ones I wanted to cover. Voodoo zombies. There's a couple of things I remember reading up on it years and years ago. Voodoo zombies can actually be broken from their spell by giving them salt. And oh. Sorry. Voodoo zombies can actually have the spell broken by giving them salt, and they remember who they were before they were turned. And that makes them, fly into a rage fit. And they'll probably kill the person who enslaved them. Which is kind of cool. Now, your Romero zombies. They can only be destroyed in one way. You have to remove or destroy the brain. Great line. Great line. Oh, man. And they didn't even say zombies once in the entire movie. That's the best part. But the Romero zombies, especially the Romero world, it was all about how people can't work together. And they end up screwing themselves in the end. That's the biggest lesson to take away from those movies. Is every single one of them had the people just, not acted like a bunch of idiots. And by idiots, I mean like people. Had they not been out for only themselves or to purposefully try and screw other people over, they would have been absolutely fine. But they couldn't put aside their baser instincts or their selfishness or their pig-headed stubborn arrogance. And in the end, it always leads to everybody else getting killed. And it's like an opera. or a finely written Shakespearean tragedy. So, there's that. The Walking Dead zombies, with the amount of decay that they have, and I think that the amount of decay that they have, you figure at this point there'd be none left. And they even said something on the show about them freezing in the winter. And then here we are in the summer, and it's Georgia, where the temperatures in the summer is routinely over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Which you'd think would lead to the zombies like rotting pretty quickly. And it just not being a threat anymore. But for some reason, they will decay and decay and decay and fall apart into pieces, but still keep trudging along. There's a little dying entrails falling out engine that could. The Return of the Living Dead zombies, not having a way to kill them is interesting. I mean, not having any real way of killing them. You can shoot them in the head. You can cut them in half. You can... Oh, what all did they do? I guess I could throw in the reanimators. Because they were kind of like the Return of the Living Dead zombies. Only they had machinations. They had plans, man. They were out there and doing stuff. But no, I'm not gonna get into that because Reanimator is a movie that really messed me up. Based on a H.P. Lovecraft story as well, so I mean it's got that going for it as well. But Reanimator has this really freaky scene at the end where the decapitated doctor's head is being held by his body. And the lady is tied to the table. And he's going in for what appears to be something that only a head could do. And it's always at that point when somebody walks in on me watching the movie and goes, "What the crap are you watching?" I go, "Oh my gosh. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna die of both shame and embarrassment because there's no way I can explain this. It totally doesn't even fit in the movie." but it's crap. Darn. It's one of those things that you've got to either be sure you're going to be alone to watch it or have some people and be like, "Hey, all right, look, just fair warning, this movie's going to get really weird at the end. So, don't freak out." All right? If you have to preface a movie with it's going to get weird, it's either got to be a really, really good movie, which it's not, or you've got to be like, have some of the most chill people ever. Alright. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Um. So, there's that. And, yeah, the Return of the Living Dead had some really cool zombie designs as well. Like the tar zombie. I believe he's like the mascot of the franchise, essentially. You'll know him. He looks like walking liquid compost. It's the best way I could think of describing it. And it's a brilliant design. You can just see you can almost smell it by looking at it, which is great. Then you also have the Romero Walking Dead zombies, which, to me, the Romero world and the Walking Dead world both lend themselves to a different type of fright than your infected or your sprinting zombies. Because it's slow, and because they never tire, and all they want to do is eat your flesh and turn you into more Zimbos, then it's like this ever-present kind of like a despair, this like long-lasting despair. You're in this world where nothing is going to get better, and that's just awful, you know. Well, at least that's just me. The thought that everyone is dead, society has collapsed, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're hopelessly screwed. Our only two options are to set up camp somewhere and live out the rest of our days, or to go around and eliminate everything and hope that we can keep it all together. And that's impossible. So there's that. Then there's the sprinter zombies. The sprinter zombies give you like this hopelessness, because you never get to the point where, none of the movies ever get to the point where they're trying to set up a more permanent shelter, and the hardships that come with, being set aside, stuff like that. I don't know. It's like in the Sprinter Zombies movie, there's never a scene where the people like start to try and plant crops or raid supermarkets. Although Zombieland did Sprinter Zombies well. I don't know. 28 Days Later to me was a good, like, people study movie. but not a great zombie movie, if you understand. Return of the Living... Walking Dead, I understand you can't have zombie attacks every single... Well, I mean, they do. But it can't always be fighting zombies. There has to be a human drama element to it. And that's where the show loses me. I don't think they do the human drama very well. Or, I'm sorry, they try and oversell it, is what they're doing. And that's the part that I can't get into, because to me, at some point, somebody's got to get punched in the freaking head for the way they talk to each other. And that just, like, never happens on the show. So, to me, it's like, they're not acting like real people. But, that's mine. The Romeros, a sad, slow, lumbering hopelessness. And the Walking Dead is a sad, slow, lumbering annoyance. So, as much as I would, I'd like to say that if I had to pick the type of zombies, I'd watch voodoo ones. I'm sorry. I mean, they may have all the things that the Romeros have going on. Well, I mean, they answer to a master. There's a person behind it. There's a big bad evil. And that's the way that we've all grown up, that there's got to be a reason behind this. Well, that's probably a little bit of human arrogance, really. To think that we could learn and understand everything. Wow, that got deep for a second there, didn't it? Yeah. It really just pushes chaos theory right out the window, doesn't it? The idea that, complex systems will have anomalies in them that can't be easily understood. And sometimes even simple systems. You could leave your house every single day for 10 years down the same 4 steps, and one day the step could give way and you'll break your leg, or your footing will miss. It's a practiced motion to you. A simple system. Something that couldn't possibly go wrong. And then one day it does. With no explanation. So. Well, I thought that zombies would be a fascinating topic to touch on. Especially the majors. Nugget, woohoo! I got paid money. What's up? I got a moonstone. Now I can turn my Clefairy into something I don't want. I like the way Pikachu spins too. Alright. Well, that one leaves here anyway, so. Dung, 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 boom. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right. Round, round, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Boo, 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 boo. Get all the items, guys. That's my only advice. Wait a minute. How do I get back? This way? No, wrong way. Oh, well. So, oh, man. That was a sniffu. Situation normal, all fouled up. So, guys, I hope you found this fascinating. Because zombies are indeed interesting topics. Especially when people talk about zombie survival. And I know that hasn't come up in a while. You know, a lot of people don't. Mostly because it's dumb. It's really, really dumb. Why did you come here? Oh man, we got a regular philosopher over here. What is here? Anyway. Is there any that I didn't really touch on? Probably the rage zombies. I feel as though I didn't do well enough explaining. But they're not that interesting to me. It's more of an invasion. You might as well just call it an invasion. Oh, and I mentioned the alien parasites in the brains. That is from Night of the Creeps. I think it was the 1985, 86 movie. If you have not seen it, it is an absolute treat. I don't know how more people don't know about this movie. It is absolutely fantastic. Starts off with a couple of kids in college in the most 80s of 80s thing. Well, actually, I believe it starts off on an alien spaceship. And then it goes into this black and white. Like these kids. These two young teenagers at Makeout Point. When, and there's a psychopath on the loose with an axe. You know, I feel like I should be doing my old-timey radio announcer voice. Meanwhile, on Lookout Point, a couple of teenagers are getting pretty steamy in the back seat of his car. Oh, and who's this? It's Johnny Law coming to put it into their fun times. Boo on you there. What's that, though, coming through the radio? Reports of a psychopath on the loose. Beware any dangerous man you see lurking in the vicinity of Makeout Point. Oh, but Johnny, we're at Makeout Point. It's okay. I'll protect you. Look at my Letterman jacket. Oh, that's a nice Letterman jacket. Yes. And then they freeze the body, and then it jumps to the 80s. And oh man, there's this one point at the movie though. It's a pretty bananas movie to start with, and then it gets to this point where like they don't really touch on the killer much after that until one point in the movie where the policeman, all grizzled out, comes in and he's dropping all these stories on this kid. I think he's calling the kid Spanky the entire time, which is pretty funny. But the movie goes from this cheeso horror movie feel into this really hardcore, off the wall, seriously dramatic moment. Hey guys, those people that died in that car that night, I knew them. There was a killer on the loose, and I tracked him down on my time off, and I found him. The kid goes, "Did you take anybody with you?" "Yeah. I took my 12 gauge. And when I saw him, I leveled off my sights, and I let him have both barrels. And the kid freaks out. He goes, "Should you be telling me this?" He goes, "Probably not." This just like this beautifully random, eloquently crazy moment where this guy just like dumps all this insanity in this kid's lap, and the kid's just like, I have no idea what to do with this information. This guy just admitted to committing a murder. But darn if it isn't great. And it was on Netflix for a while, so you guys have like no excuse. As far as I'm concerned, if it's still on there, seriously though, it's great. You will not regret the time you put into it. Although, make sure you're not watching the movie while on your phone, because otherwise, you're going to miss out on some great, really, really quotable dialogue. As far as other movies go, zombie-wise, actually, I really enjoyed Pontypool up until the end. So I'd say, like, watch Pontypool until they figure out what caused it, and then just stop listening whenever they start talking about what causes it. And then, like, you'll be fine. Oh, Crazies. Crazies fit into Rage Zombies. Crazies was a good movie. Pretty eerie. Like I said, Night of the Living Dead. That's classic. If you haven't seen that, it's public domain, everybody. They snaffood. They messed up when they were trying to trademark the movie, and it fell immediately into the public domain. You could find it like bundled into those like 25 pack of horror movies that you'll find occasionally for like $5 or $10. Or you can watch the entire thing on YouTube. The entirety of the movie is on YouTube, free and legal to watch. Watch it. See the classic. Let's see. Return of the Living Dead. Definitely worth a watch. There's some really weird graveyard scene. It's definitely not something I would recommend watching with your parents. Don't watch The Reanimator with your parents either. Or if you do, just skip like the last 10 minutes. And be like, yeah, and everybody died. Burp, burp. Sad face. 28 days later, the guy who played the Joker in Batman, or the Joker, oh my god, the guy who played the Scarecrow in Batman Begins is in there, as well as the Ninth Doctor. So, hey, there you go, Whovians. Oh. Whatever. Freaking HP up. Let's see. What else? Zombie movies. I said Pontypool. Return of the Living Dead. Day of the Dead is probably my favorite George Romero zombie flick. That's the third one in the series. Now that's That is how you do good human drama. All of those people seem to be trying their hardest and getting nowhere for all their troubles. Not to mention it's got Bub. Bub the zombie! It's a little weird that they're giving zombies a little bit more range in the movie. But Bub I can understand because Bub, they spent forever with him. Trying to learn more about the zombie outbreak. So, if you want to see Bub shooting the captain, I'd watch it. Why am I always out of space for items? Crap. Alright, well. Sorry. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this. There's Giovanni. Look at him. Sitting there. Old Al Capone. Hey! Hope you have syphilis too. Oh, that's probably a low blow. Al Capone had syphilis, guys. Just saying. Not like I'm making stuff up. He died from it. Crap. Alright, I'm gonna cut off here. And I'm gonna resume at the same fight next time. Thank you for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed my rambling about zombies. Because I know I surely enjoyed talking about zombies. And, if you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe. Because I will constantly be putting out content as much as I am capable of, or is possible. So, thank you guys. Just a quick shout out. I do have a Patreon account. If anybody would like to go over there and donate. I will be changing up the rewards soon. But I think that they're not that bad. And like I said, thank you for your time. Please, please, please have a wonderful day. And I'm done.